want to take my glasses off, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to
Welcome
see.
to our live open house event. We are so excited. We have some fabulous guests here that we're about to talk to. Last week, we had Lindsay McNeil, who is an interior designer, and you may want to check out her video that she did with us in our link in our bio. Let me tell you, we've had some really amazing partners on the show with us. So first we had Harvest House, which you guys were a part of the birthday bash, which was so successful. Thank you to all who gave and those of you who participated in that. We also had Nancy Zepeda with First Financial Bank talking about the mortgage business and what it is that you need before you even start the home buying process. We also had Mike Quinn giving us great information. He was the financial advisor who just went above and beyond and showed us all the things we need to know about not only getting into a house, but how does that asset affect your long-term goals. Today, we have another group of panelists who are going to share some of their amazing education of what they've done over many years. We have people who've been in the business for a very long time and have some great information for you. If you're connected with us on social media, you know that we are different than any other brokerage in town. We are a group of people and what we're called as a team brokerage. So we have different departments who handle each part of the process. For instance, you may see our marketing team out there. They're solving problems and getting things out there for you guys so that you can know, okay, is this something I need to do or not do, and getting you the information you need. When you decide you're ready to buy or sell, you may call our office or go online to our website and talk to one of our ISAs. Our ISAs are there. They're helpful to let you know, okay, what is it that I need? What do I need to do? Maybe you're not ready immediately. They'll stay in touch with you till you are ready and help you through that process. Once you say, hey guys, we're ready. We want to get our house on the market, or we're ready to buy something, they're going to send you to one of our agents. We have a listing department with a listing team, and then separate from that, we have buyer's agents who work with our buyers. So one of the benefits to working with our team is that our listing department is separate from our buyers department. So you will have someone advocating for you whenever you're purchasing a property. So today we have additional partners who come alongside us and facilitate us as we go through that process. And with us, we have Gordon Birdwell, who is our appraiser. April Tolbert is our insurance expert. And then Brenda Loftus is our title closer. They're going to give you a little bit about who they are. So Gordon, I'm going to start with you. Tell the audience a little bit about who you are.
I'm a residential real estate appraiser. 90% of my business is mortgage transactions. We do some work for individual people. I started in 2004, live here in Beaumont and work this market area.
Yeah. Thanks for being here today.
Hey, it's a privilege. Thank you.
Okay, April.
I'm April Tolbert. I am with April Tolbert Insurance Agency, the big farmers insurance agent out on Major Drive. So I'm sure a lot of people drive by and see my office with a big blue roof out there. But what they don't realize, and what most people don't realize till they talk to us, is that we specialize in the home buyers process and people who are buying a home, people who own a home. Maybe you've been here. I've been born and raised here my whole life. So we focus on what is important insurance-wise for people who live and own homes in Southeast Texas. So I've been doing this a long time, got a great team, and we love to help our neighbors in Southeast Texas with all of the crazy insurance puzzle that we have to deal with.
And
here.
we're going to get into some of that craziness here in a little bit. Brenda Loftus is with Capital Title. Tell a little bit about yourself.
I am. I have been in the area for 25 years. I've been in the title insurance business that long as well. I work at Capital Title for the last 3 years. Love my company. Mm-hmm. Great move.
You have a great team with you as well.
I do.
So we are so grateful to have these professionals with their expertise sharing with us and with you many of the things that you will come against whenever you're in the real estate process. So, but first we're going to look at one of our homes that we have out in Hampshire. It is on Sandell. So stay with us on this one. If you're interested in seeing a house with a mother-in-law suite, view this house first, and we have Rakita who's going to give you that tour.
Good afternoon, Facebook family. I'm Rakita Harper, buyer specialist with Dayna Simmons Real Estate, and I am here in the heart of Hampshire Fernet area at 16566 Sandell Road. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, and it's right under 1,800 square feet. It has a carport. And also, this gym has a mother-in-law suite that could be sold together with the home or separately. If you take a look right over there in the corner is the mother-in-law suite that we'll go and look at as well. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath with a kitchenette. Great place. So come inside with me. I can't wait to show you this home. The floors, the neutral colors, the wood accents are absolutely everything. The room is divided. This area here, as you can see, the chandelier that's right here is definitely where your dining table would go. And it has like the open shelving. I want you to take a look at the detail on the shelving here. You've got lights underneath to create a very nice romantic ambiance for a light dinner for two, or just a very peaceful atmosphere dinner type thing with your family. So anyway, over here in the middle, you've got your kitchen complete with the butcher block accent, along with the quartz on the other island next to it. Nice neutral black backsplash, sorry. Not a whole lot going on because simplicity wins, right? Less is more. You also have an electric stove, but one thing to note about this house is that it's actually wired for gas too. So if you prefer a gas stove, you can always switch it out because it's wired for that. And it does come complete with all your stainless appliances as well. And on this side of the house is where the living area is. And I think whatever floats your boat, you could switch these out if you like, but this is the living area, and that behind, over here on this side, is the dining area. You also have, when we go this way, there is a nice sized closet for utilities like your broom and things like that. There's a bedroom here. If you have that teenager that wants to be separated from everybody else, this is the perfect room for them. But then they're also really close to the pantry too, the snacks. So if you notice on the shelf, straight ahead, there's 2 outlets there. So your microwave and coffee bar, anything can go right in there. And you see behind me is a very spacious laundry. The indoor laundry is a big hit. So you have your washer dryer here, you've got a hanging bar there to hang up clothes. It's nice and spacious. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at the other 2 bedrooms. I'm not sure if I mentioned this full bath right here, complete with a shower. Nice details in the bathroom. To my left is a bedroom with 2 closets, but they are connected. So lots of space in the closets and in the bedroom. There's no carpet in this home, which is a plus, especially if you have allergies or animals. But I want you to take a look at the detail, the chevron pattern in the floors too. How nice is that? And then we're off to the master suite. This is the master suite, full tub shower combo here, and a nice built-in linen closet to the right, and a walk-in closet complete with built-ins as well. Another thing that I wanted to mention here is the chandelier. I love the lighting in this closet. It actually is enough room if you wanted to put like maybe an island here to sit things on, or to give you some storage space underneath. Plenty of room for that. And again, this is the master bedroom. You have it complete with accordion blinds that are also blackout blinds. For those of you who work nights or you want to come home and sleep during the day, you can do that here. But these are also, like I said, blackout accordion blinds. Another thing I wanted to mention in this home, you guys, is everything is completely new. I'm talking the roof, the electrical work, the floors, cabinets, everything is completely new. It's been completely rewired, and I think you would enjoy it. So we're gonna take a quick little break and head on over to the mother-in-law suite for you to take a look at that.
Wow, that is a really cool house. But here's what you don't know. Coming up next, Rakita is going to show you the mother-in-law suite. So these properties can be purchased separately. They're on 2 separate lots. So go click the link in the bio and you can look at the 2 of them. But if you have a mother-in-law or a family member who needs to be close, this might be perfect for you. The 2 can be purchased together as well. So in just a minute, we're going to give Rakita a minute to get over there. We're going to let you see that other property. In the meantime, I wanted to share just a few minutes about where we are in the market. So we are still in a situation where we are in a lack of inventory. Our months of inventory is about 1.8 months of inventory. I know you've heard me talk before, an average market is about 6 months of inventory. When you get any lower than that, as you get lower, it becomes more of a seller's market. When you get higher than that, you're getting more into a buyer's market. Now people are saying, well, I'm a buyer. I don't want to buy right now because we're in a seller's market. Well, let me tell you what, the market is probably not going to get a lot better. We might get some more properties, but your interest rate and what you're seeing right now is really good. So don't hesitate to jump on in and just take a peek. Maybe you get out there and you see it's not perfect for you. That's okay. We want to help you in that decision. We want to walk you through the process. We want to be your guide, and we want to help you and make that decision for yourself. But don't hesitate to work to go ahead and jump in the market now and let us see what we can do to help you. Okay, I think Rakita's ready. Here she is at that mother-in-law suite.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Look, we're in the mother-in-law suite, 16540 Sandell Road. It has its own address. So that one, the main house was 16566. 16540 is this one. Cute little tiny home, complete with a kitchenette. Actually, a full kitchen rather, has a stove. And then to my left, you'll see the laundry room. And this home does come complete with the washer and dryer. You've got your dining area behind me, and both bedrooms and the bathroom are to my right. Let's go take a look. Quite the space in the bedrooms too. Again, this can be sold separately at $69,900, and the main house is $215,000, or they can be purchased together. I wanted to mention that. And the second bedroom is here, along with a full bath, tub shower combo and a sink. And so, yeah, you've got over an acre with this whole property. If you bought them together, again, the main house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, right under 1,800 square feet for $215,000. And then you have this one that's right at 600 square feet, 2-bedroom, 1-bath for $69,900. If you'd like more information about how to purchase these homes, whether separately or together, you can always call our office at 409-866-8326. And one of our inside sales specialists will be happy to share with you how to get that done. So again, Rakita Harper here signing out, and we'll see you all next time.
Welcome back. Thank you, Rakita. Appreciate you giving us a view into that home. Well, we have pulled some of the most frequently asked questions. Some of the things that you have said, I'd love to know that. So we're going to ask our panel to give us some of those answers, and we're going to start with Gordon. So Gordon, I've got my list here. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Okay. So first, it's not too hard. What is an appraisal?
An appraisal is a valuation of, and in our case, residential property primarily, to determine a fair market value. And we arrive at that using comparable data within the neighborhood or market area to arrive at the valuation.
Yeah, and with an appraisal, appraisal, though, there are stipulations as to what you can pull. I mean, it's not like you can pull, if your house is 1,500 square feet
Right.
and your neighbor's house is
Yes.
3,500 square
Right.
feet, you have limitations, so that makes it a little more difficult.
Well, and the perfect appraisal, let's do a little analogy here.
Yeah.
And let's use your house.
Yeah.
If this exact house, same age, same condition, everything identical, if there were one on each side and one across the street and they sold in the past year,
Yeah.
that's a perfect real estate appraisal.
Right.
But that doesn't happen in our world. So we start with your house and we
Yeah.
look at the living area, the age, the condition, the site values, and we just find the closest, the most similar houses
Yeah.
that we can to compare to yours that have sold in the open market as arm's length transactions
Right.
in the past year.
Right.
And we may have to go distant, it just all depends on the market and the sub-market you're in and the available comparable data.
Yeah, and it's not as easy as people think. So,
And it's getting more difficult every day.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier the inventory,
Yeah.
the housing inventory. Well, that reduces sales, which reduces comparable data.
yeah,
And so,
yeah.
it's a good thing, but it's also limits us sometimes.
Yeah, it's a challenging task, but I know you're always up to it. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, kind of personal here.
Let's go.
How much do you charge for an appraisal?
There's some variables in the fee for an appraisal, and they can depend on the size of the house. And it's really not the size of the house, it's the complexity, the time and the
Yeah.
energy and the effort of the person performing the appraisal.
Right.
And they vary some by loan type, FHA to conventional, and some of the different loan types. And also distance is a factor in our market. If I drive to Buna, I'm going to expect a little more compensation than if I drive to the west end of Beaumont.
Right, yeah.
So that range is typically $550 to $750 currently.
Okay, good. That gives us a good idea.
But
So,
we will always take more. Never.
absolutely. How long does it take to get an appraisal back?
The last year or so has been a really, really busy time for us because of
Right.
low interest rates and primary people refinancing their existing
Yeah.
mortgages.
Right.
And our turn times have been running 3 to 4 weeks. Right now, we're just in a little lull.
Right.
And we're probably 2.5 to 3 weeks turn time from the day an appraisal's ordered
Yeah.
until we return that report to our client.
Right, and you and I talked a little bit of that. A little bit of that lull is because the refinance market.
Right.
Anyone who wanted to refinance should have by now.
That's
you would
right.
think. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's giving you guys a little bit of relief on just working on resales.
Yes, ma'am.
So, what kind of appraisals do you do?
From a loan type standpoint, I do conventional appraisals and FHA appraisals. I'm not and USDA. I'm not a VA appraiser. I don't do
Right.
any work for the Veterans Administration.
Right.
And beyond that, to the type of properties we appraise is certified residential appraiser. I can appraise single family residence or multifamily 1 to 4
Right.
units.
Okay.
And that's pretty much our limit. But we appraise 300 square feet or 9,000 square feet, whatever
Right.
we do. There's really no limit on us on the residential side of our ability to appraise.
And even cash. There are many cash buyers who just want an appraisal.
Right.
Well, and I know we've personally had sellers who said, appraisal district has this square footage. I think I have more square footage. And that's something you guys can do as well. You can go out and just do a measurement at a different fee
Right.
rather than a full-blown appraisal,
Yes,
right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We do go, and it's becoming more common
Yeah.
to go and just draw a floor plan so
Yeah.
people understand what they're selling or what they're buying.
Right. Yeah.
Usually the buyer finds it in the appraisal process, but
Yeah.
for the people listing their houses, we do that pretty regularly
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So it's extended beyond just appraisal. So how do you determine the value of my home? I know that you talked about next door and across the street in an ideal situation, but kind of give us the steps that you have to take.
Okay. The physical steps is we come to your house, we measure your house, we measure your porches, your patios, your pool. We look at the age of your house, the site it's on, the value of that site in the market, and room count, bathrooms are a big plus,
Yeah.
garages, car storage is very important in our market. And we go from there and then we begin that comparable data search. In 2008, I believe, I may have that year wrong, they redid the appraisal form we use for residential real estate, and they tried to group the world, and it's Fannie and Freddie, driven to the quality and condition ratings of houses. And when you talk about a quality rating, it's really not the finishes and refinements as much as it is the design, the elevated ceilings, the open concepts, the more architectural design versus just a stock plan design.
Sure.
And we look at that and determine a quality rating, and then we look at the condition of the house.
Right.
And that's the physical condition of your house. How much physical depreciation? You may have a 50-year-old house that's totally updated and remodeled, and you may have a 10-year effective age, or you may have a 50-year-old house that has a 30-year effective
Right.
age, and that's where those condition ratings come in. So we've somewhat standardized those, but those are two of the other real big factors in an appraisal and in arriving at a market value.
Yeah, I know one of the things that I get a lot is you have someone who has a brand new house, or well, not brand new, but 2 years old, and when the house was built, they put in a pool, so it's just 2 years old. They spent $100,000 on that pool, and in their mind, that's what should be added
That's
to
right.
the value.
Yes.
But that's not the case for what a mortgage lender will allow
No.
in an appraisal. Tell me a little bit about how that limits you.
The limiting factor in the contributory value of additional improvements, pools, shops, barns, whatever they may be, is market driven.
Right.
You have to find comparable data that has a similar improvement, or at least improvement with a similar contributory value. How much value does a $100,000 pool add by market standards? In other words, what will I pay for a house with a pool versus what will I pay for a house without a pool? And that's the way we look at it
Yeah.
when we make our adjustments for those amenities.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's really answering your question.
No, it is.
but
It's a challenge, is what I'm getting
it
to.
is.
It's
It
not dollar
is.
for dollar. Many times
Oh.
people think whenever they add something, it's going to be dollar for dollar, and that's the challenge that you guys have, is that you can't give that. You've got to look at all of the data.
And whether it's with improvements to the house or shops, barns, pools, you reach a point where it's the value's just not, it's a diminishing return
Right.
on your investment.
Right.
I mean, I was talking with an appraiser last week, and he was appraising a house in our market area, and it was a 1,400 square foot house, and the man had purchased it to flip it.
Yeah.
We spent $90,000 remodeling, probably $120,000 to $130,000 house.
Yeah.
So his returns diminished substantially,
Yes.
based on, and that's a factor. And I get asked all the time, what can we do to make our house more valuable? The absolute best answer to that is add square footage.
Yeah.
Is that economically feasible? Typically not.
Yeah.
So then we're talking about getting into our condition of our house,
Right.
and you want to make sure that your house is comparable to other homes selling in the market.
Right.
If your carpet's 1963, just look around your house and say,
Yeah.
am I equal to the other houses? And I always recommend people, when they start talking about those interior changes, updatings, remodelings, to talk to an experienced real estate agent.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
see way more houses than an appraiser does.
Right.
And have a better feel for the market reaction, to the buyer's reaction to
Right.
those improvements.
Yeah, great information. Thank you. I know
Yes,
that those are challenging things to try to figure out. But the other and the last question that I have for you from one of our buyers is, many people think that their appraisal should be whatever the tax appraisal has
Yeah.
on their tax appraisal, but that's not the same thing, is it?
It is not.
Right.
And I'm not an expert on the appraisal district, but they try to arrive at values similarly to as an appraiser.
Right.
But where there's 40,000 or more single-family residences in town,
Yeah.
you can't, much less the county.
Right.
You can't do that.
Right.
So they tend to class houses together by age or by size or by location, and they just can't look at the current market
Right.
data the same.
The way
And
we can.
I don't know, it's in a way upper 90 percentile. They're going to be a little bit low, but they are catching up.
Yeah.
They've made strides in their assessment process
And
in
I've
Jefferson County.
I've seen that both ways. I've seen it where they've been low, but
Mm-hmm.
I've also seen it where the value they have on it is higher than what the market value really is. Now, that's not typical, but it happens.
And we actually do some appraising for people to dispute their taxes.
Right.
They'll ask us to come do a market value appraisal
Right.
for them.
Well, because like you said, the appraisal district doesn't go into each and every home.
That's right. I
And
mean, they
so
can't.
They can't. So sometimes they need a little help from someone who can
That's
do
right.
that. Great information, Gordon. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Okay, I'm shifting over to you, April. So let's talk a little bit about homeowners insurance. So what is homeowners insurance?
Homeowners insurance is an insurance policy that protects you not only for the perils that the policy would cover: fire, theft, lightning, windstorm, flood. In the event that your home is damaged, you would have a homeowner's policy to help repair the damage to your home, rebuild your home if it was a total loss. But there are a lot of other aspects to homeowners insurance too. Liability insurance, if someone trip and falls. I give examples all the time. Most recent one, a young kid tripped over someone's garden hose in the front walk and busted their head open, and the parents sued the homeowner. So there are a lot of other aspects other than just getting your home repaired for damage, but that is what people primarily think of homeowners insurance, to help you with the cost associated with damage.
Right, damages. And so you talked a little bit about it, but what all does homeowners insurance cover? You talked about some of that.
Yes. Liability is a big factor. There are a lot of options depending on what company you have.
Right.
There are differences in homeowners policies,
Yes.
and that's kind of where I'd like to take that question, if
Sure,
you don't mind,
yeah.
because there are differences from homeowners company to homeowners company and what's covered and what's not covered. So one of the things we specialize in my office is we specialize in educating the buyer, or educating the homeowner of what your options are. And you may go to a big name company and you think, oh, I have XYZ insurance company. They're a big national company. Surely I have good insurance. Do you know that for sure? That's the question I always ask. Have we looked at the fine print? Have we looked at what's excluded under that policy? You'd be surprised. So we don't expect you to be an insurance expert. That's what we're here for. And we just want the opportunity to be able to talk through that with you. The customers who come to us that appreciate the services we offer here locally as a local insurance agent is that we will educate you. We will give you options. We will not just say, here's your quote. And we hear that a lot. I got a quote from someone. Well, that's great. But what is that quote for? How much are they insuring the home for? Your homeowner's insurance is going to have many separate coverages. So you're going to have your home itself, the structure, your dwelling coverage insured. You're going to have your contents, your personal property is going to have a certain amount that you could put on that policy to cover your belongings, your contents. You're going to have, on a good homeowner's policy, you're going to have loss of use coverage. What happens if you have a massive fire or your home burns to the ground? Is your insurance going to pay for you a place to live while those contractors are in there rebuilding or repairing your home? All of those are important things. So in my business, the thing that scares me the most in talking to people a lot that own homes is that they go online and they get cheap insurance, on a website somewhere, and they think they're covered. If you're not having a conversation with someone that's not asking you questions specifically about your home, specifically about how you live in your home, specifically about the contents that you have, is your jewelry covered, are your ATVs covered, are your golf carts covered? They're not asking exploratory questions, you may not have the right coverage for you.
Right, and I think that's key, is getting educated, because so often I see buyers, the key fact that they're looking for is how much is it going to cost me?
That's right.
Well, how much it costs you up front is one part of it, but how much does it cost you long term should you have to utilize that in some major way? So the fact that you guys educate and just give them the information, it's kind of like what we do. We just want people to have the information and then make the decision on their own.
Absolutely.
And so education is key.
Absolutely. And we have run into several, I'll give an example of this, where we have gotten people who shopped for the cheapest price, and then they have an incident where they realize that what do you mean that wasn't covered by my homeowner's insurance? Or even more common is they don't know what deductible they have.
Yeah.
So you have a hurricane come through, blows your roof off. It's $15,000 to put a new roof on, and you have a $15,000 or $20,000 deductible on your homeowner's insurance. That's not a surprise that you want. You want to know that ahead of time. Now, if you choose to have that higher deductible and you're okay with that, of course we're going to give you that option, and you're free to choose that. It's where people are not educated, and people are blindsided in a terrible time, because unfortunately my part of this process is we talk in worst case scenarios. So we talk in, if your home burns to the ground, if the wind does blow the roof off of your house, and we want to make sure you know what's going to happen and what that process is going to look like, what your deductible is, all of those things, so you don't have any surprises.
Right. Yes. Surprises are not fun.
Correct.
So, except for if it's a birthday party, you know, that's
Oh,
the
that's a
fun part of
surprise.
this. Or a new car, honey.
But not insurance.
That would be a cool surprise, but not insurance surprises
No,
for sure.
no.
So, is insurance required?
Oh, that's a very good question. Insurance is required usually, I never say 100% of the time, but usually when you have a mortgage on your home, your mortgage company is going to require that you have some sort of physical damage or hazard insurance on your home. Here, some in our area specifically, because we have a lot of unique insurance things
Situations,
here in Southeast Texas that other people don't have to deal with. And they will require sometimes for you to make sure you have windstorm insurance. If it's in a certain zone for flood zone, that will require you to have flood insurance. However, if you're paying cash for a home and you don't have a lender, you don't necessarily have to have, that's optional. But that's where we see it being required, is when there is a lender involved in the transaction.
And so, how much is the average? I know that's a shot in the dark question, but how do you determine insurance costs?
Oh, now she's putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
Because insurance is calculated by the particular insurance company, by these algorithms. Computers all generate things now. And they tell me there are over 2,000 factors that go into establishing a rate for an individual on a particular home. So you and I could shop for insurance on the same home, and our cost of insurance could be different. Because many years ago, guess what? The Texas Department of Insurance started allowing insurance companies to use credit characteristics to establish rates of insurance. So I have a lot of people that say, but my neighbor's only paying X number of dollars for their insurance. That it has no relevance to what you pay for your insurance. It's going to be based off of your property, where it's located, what the construction type is, what the risks are, what the prior losses are on that home. If that prior homeowner had 2 or 3 claims on that home, that's going to affect your cost of insurance. So I advise my customers or potential customers, especially if they're shopping around at homes, I will tell them, please call us. If you're looking at 2 different homes and you're thinking, ooh, I really like this one, but I like this one too, go ahead and get your insurance quotes, because insurance could also be a factor in why you might purchase this home over that home. There could be $1,000 difference a year in your cost of insurance or more from one home to another, even if they sit side by side or across the street from each other.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why we also recommend, just like you do, April, that in this fast-paced market, sometimes you love a home and you don't have time to get that insurance cost because it's 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, and because real estate agents work all the time.
Yes, you do.
So we put the house under contract, but often you've negotiated an option period. So very important for us to say to our clients, in that option period, check your insurance. Because the homeowner may have forgotten, oh yeah, 15 years ago, this did happen. Or things just have changed in the insurance market since they own the house. I had a client who owned a property, it was cash, paid off, been paying for their flood insurance, didn't know that 2 years ago the floodplain changed. And so what they stated was their flood insurance is not what a new buyer is going to get for flood insurance. So always during the option period, making sure you get that information. And I appreciate that you're willing to do that for clients. It's an important
Absolutely.
factor in moving forward or not moving forward on that property.
Right. And I can't reiterate what Dayna said enough. During that option period, please get your quotes for your flood insurance. Yes.
Absolutely.
Or all of your insurance.
All of it. Brenda, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
you're on the hot seat now. Are you ready?
No.
Okay. Title. What is a title company?
A title company is a disinterested third party in reality that helps a buyer and a seller facilitate a real estate transaction
Right.
in a nutshell.
So what is title insurance then?
Title insurance is an insurance policy to the new homeowner and to lenders that ensures to you that the title has transferred properly, the correct people have conveyed to you, no missing heirs, no pending divorces that may affect disbursements,
Right.
taxes are paid, any type of issues have been handled prior to closing. And if those are not, that title policy helps you to pay for any court costs or any
Right.
damages that may come about after closing if there's anything missed.
Oh, and if we had lots of time,
we could go
talk about title issues,
Yes,
couldn't we?
yes.
We have lots of conversations about those.
Right.
So, escrow, that word,
Mm-hmm.
people get confused about escrow. When we say you're an escrow agent, many people don't think about it the way you're going to talk about it. So explain that.
And I think that's because there are some states where the escrow side of things and the title side of things are split and separated.
Yeah.
But in Texas, they're not. They're the same. It's one company that holds the money,
Right.
that facilitates the transaction, does the title search, and disperses and records and does all of the final paperwork as well.
So when you talk about in other states, some of them have a closing attorney and people would
Correct.
close with them. So tell us what is the difference there and how does the attorney come into play with what you do at the title company?
There are some things people called fee attorneys that do
Right.
work in Houston area. I don't know that there's too many in this area right now, but they do work with title insurance. They do a split on the premium and you still do get a title policy. But if you just go to your favorite real estate attorney and ask them to do the paperwork for you, they may do a small search, but you have absolutely no recourse with them. You don't have a policy, a title policy.
Right.
So if something goes wrong and they miss something, which we've seen often as
happen.
well, because
Yeah.
they're not doing a full
Right.
search, then that problem still has to be taken care of
Right.
at your cost or your expense. So.
And so while you're called an escrow company because you do all of that,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times when people think escrow, they think more about what April does because
Right.
we escrow taxes and insurance into
Mm-hmm.
our mortgage many times. But that's not the same kind of escrow because we'll see an escrow fee.
Right.
And so the escrow fee means the escrow agent, the fee that we pay you to handle the entire
Handle the
transaction.
money, legal documents,
Yeah.
and until all the requirements are met. We cannot
Right.
disperse, we cannot record.
Making sure every I is dotted, every
Correct.
T is crossed, so that everything goes smoothly for the buyer and the seller.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay, so what can make a title defective?
Oh, there's many, many things.
All right. Yeah.
Missing heirs in the
Right.
chain of title. One thing about capital titles, we have when there's affidavit of heirships, you rely on the people providing that information.
Right.
There's a lot of searches that are done that I've worked for other title companies that aren't done.
Right.
They actually look at death certificates, they look at all that information. So it takes a little bit longer with us.
Right.
But it's for the protection of the buyer and the
Right.
lenders as well.
Right.
So that is one thing. I've had a recent file that there's an access issue. The road is in front of the house, but there's a strip of land that was never addressed. They paid cash, they didn't get a survey, they didn't get a title policy. Those type of things you don't know about.
Right.
I've had neighbors that have gone down to the bank and gotten a home equity loan, weren't required to have a title policy, and they may have sold a piece of property, or the bank just used an incorrect legal description, so they've clouded your title and you had no idea.
Right.
There's just so many different little things that you wouldn't think that can
Right.
come up. So
Well, and it makes me think of too, when Mike Quinn was here, he was talking about getting your assets together and having a will.
right,
Because so often we've seen someone doesn't have a will and how
Right.
that impacts the transfer of title and how it can cloud it and how it can be a very challenging thing to do. So there are lots
Right.
of things that can do that if you're not careful. So, do I need title insurance?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's just too many things that could happen that you're even unaware of.
Right.
You may think just because somebody purchased a property 6 months ago that the title should be fine, but what if they had judgments? We do a name search as well.
Yeah.
So if there's a judgment on that person, we're going to find that, and that's going to have to be taken care of. What if
Right.
they had a lien? The liens, we take care of making sure those liens get paid off and released. We
Yeah.
prorate taxes. There's a lot of different things that don't get done if
Yeah.
you don't use a title company.
Yeah. So, get your title policy. That's what we want to make sure we get out of that. So we're going to be back in the next segment, and we are going to be discussing additional information from these experts. But in the meantime, we have a house for you. Neely is at 2206 Chase Bend in Orange. This is a gorgeous home. You're not going to want to miss it.
Hi guys, I'm Neely Cooling with Dayna Simmons Real Estate, and welcome to our live open house event. I am here in Orange today. We are at 2206 Chase Bend. This is a home that is 6,171 square feet, giving you 7-bed, 4-bath, 2 half baths, and a 3-car garage, and it also has a pool. So that's awesome. It is $550,000, and yeah, let's go ahead and go inside and I will show you around. So right as you walk in, you've got a lot of options for where you can go. You'll see that you even have a little catwalk runway up there for your stairs, but we're gonna go ahead and go to the right. And this can be used as an office, extra flex space. It has these glass doors that you can open or shut for privacy. And it looks out onto the front yard. So you'll notice we have a little hallway right here, and it leads you to your master suite. So you can do this a lot of different ways, but they're using this one as a workout room. So this is another flex space that you could use for a workout, seating areas, extra little game room, whatever it may be, and you do have access to the backyard as well. So as we walk through here, this is your master bedroom. Gorgeous neutral colors. You'll see that around the doors and the baseboards, they have a lot of detail, lots of character, and nice windows that bring in some natural light. Recessed lighting. And here is your master bathroom. So you've got a lot of space. You've got a huge jacuzzi tub, as well as lots of vanity space, 2 sinks, lots of storage. And then you have your walk-in shower, and check out that shower head. So the perfect spa experience this way. You have your water closet here, and then your actual closet is off of the bedroom. And it has lots of nice built-ins, lots of space for all your clothes, shoes, all the things. You even have a little space right here that you could use for jewelry or turn it into a vanity. So we'll walk back through. You have the double doors to this room, so if someone's in here working out, you can shut those for sound. And this dumps us out into the living area, more formal den, I guess you could call it. It has a beautiful fireplace, beautiful details around the fireplace and the mirror, and the large windows that bring in extra light. Right here you have like a little nook that you could use for, you can make it a little bench, storage underneath. If you open this, you can put all the blankets and such in there. And before we get to the kitchen, we're gonna actually go upstairs. So as I mentioned, this home does have 7 bedrooms, so you have all the space in the world for your family, for guests. Up here is carpeted, and you have 3 bedrooms up here. Actually, you have 4 bedrooms up here. So this first one is overlooking the front yard, so this is on the front of the house. And you've got a lot of space in here, tall ceilings, good open windows, and we actually have a Jack and Jill bath into the next room. So each room has their own vanity and sink. They share the bathroom and the shower, and then this is the other sink as well. So now we're at the back of the house. And this room is super cool because it has this loft up here that your children or your guests, or you could use this as a game room. You can use it for anything, and I think that's every kid's dream, to have a little extra space where no one else can go. So now we're going up 2 more steps into the last 2 bedrooms up here. This one is a little bit larger, so a little bit more extra space up here. Again, we're on the back of the house. And it's nice because you have this little desk area, so for homework, if you're working from home, projects, anything like that. The last bedroom up here, you'll notice you have awesome storage right here, full bath, and then the full bedroom. So this is nice. Your kids or your guests, they can all be upstairs, but they still have bathroom, storage space to live up here and not have to come down. Beautiful details on the railing. Okay. And as you get down here, we will go ahead and go back to the entryway onto the formal dining area. I love this room. I love the huge mirrors in here. They make it feel super formal, and you have a lot of space. So if you were having a sit-down dinner, Thanksgiving, whatever it may be, you definitely have the space for it. Okay, and then this dumps out into your kitchen. I love this super tall island. They have the bar stools right here. You have an extra sink, and then your stovetop is a little bit lower over here. But you have a lot of space in here, lots of cabinets, lots of counter space for cooking, prepping, stainless steel appliances, pretty much anything you could want in a kitchen. Okay, we will go back here, and we have 2 more bedrooms. So these are a little bit larger than the ones upstairs, and they both have a little desk area that's built in. And they also share a bathroom. So they share the bathroom. They don't have their own vanities, but they have their own sinks. Nice tile floor that's carried throughout into the shower. And then here's that other bedroom. So this one's quite a bit larger. You could use this for a bedroom, game room, anything, because you have plenty of space. Okay, we're gonna go back through here. You'll see that the kitchen's right there. We were just in there. And right here is your laundry room. So you also have lots of storage in here with the cabinets, little bench for taking your shoes off. You have a sink, and then of course plenty of room for your washer and dryer. And then this is kind of like your family room. So it's a more informal living room. Have your big comfy couch, big TV, all your game consoles in here. This is an awesome space, and it even has a little peek window through the kitchen. So if you're in the kitchen making snacks, you can put them on there and serve them to your family. Little closet right there. And then this is kind of like a little patio room, I guess you could say. It's in the house, but extra space for seating, and it goes to your backyard. So like I said, this home does have a pool. A nice safety feature is the gate around the pool, so if you have little ones, they won't be out here by themselves, and it's super safe. You still have some yard left, so if you have dogs or pets, or you just want some grass area for the children, you do have that. And then over here, this is the door that goes off of your master room, so you have this little patio area as well. Nice fences, lots of space for fun activities, family time, holidays, all the things. But if you have any questions about this house, or you're interested in any type of real estate, go to the link in our bio and we can help you out. And that's it for me today. We'll continue with Dayna and the rest of the houses.
Welcome back. Hey, if you see Neely, or if you're friends with her on Facebook, send her a happy birthday. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Neely. We love you and we appreciate you, and great job, by the way. So you're going to notice in the last segment, we talked with our panelists about some of the most frequently asked questions. Goodness, such good nuggets. If you missed it, go click on the link in our bio and you can go back and watch the entire thing. You really need to. They gave you some excellent information, so go back and do that. We are now going to go on to a few other things, and I'm going to ask them a few more questions. So here we go. We have Gordon Birdwell. He's our appraiser. April Tolbert is our insurance agent. And then we have Brenda Loftus, who's with a title company, and she's our escrow agent. So first question is, we've talked about in the first segment how you guys kind of worked with the process of buying or selling, but where specifically do each of you fit in? And we're going to start with you, Gordon. The
appraisal process fits in real estate transactions well, our primary job is whoever our client is, which 90+% of the time is a lending institution of some sort or a lender. It may be private financing, but anyway, our job is to come up with the market value of the property that they're fixing to loan somebody money to borrow.
Right.
To make sure that they have adequate collateral or field capital in that property to cover the amount that they are loaning on that property.
Right, which is wise.
And that's right. And that is our role
Yeah.
in the real estate industry.
Yeah, just to make sure that that value is there.
That's right.
And that they can overcome their capital, that they have the money in their capital.
Right. And not only does it protect the lender,
Yeah.
it also protects a buyer that may not be aware of, market values and
Right.
some of the issues that go along with buying a house.
Absolutely. So great information. So April, how do you fit into this process? We talked about it briefly, but talk some more
Absolutely.
about that.
Insurance is an important piece of the process that oftentimes gets overlooked. It's kind of the thing that goes on the back burner, and what I think Dayna and her team do a great job of, and what we're trying to stress today is how important that insurance piece actually is. Sometimes we hear, oh, well, my agent told me just to go call my car insurance company and get some insurance. And there's so much more to it than that. Your lender is going to really, if you have a lender, loan on your property, your lender is going to facilitate your appraisal. They're going to facilitate your title. They're going to work with these guys, and your insurance needs to do the same thing. It's just as important. Your insurance sticks with you. You're buying the home, and you're not going to need the appraiser after that. You're not going to need the real estate agent until you need to buy or sell again. But your insurance, you may need. You may need it a day after you close. You may need it a month or a year or 5 years after you've been in your home. So your insurance is an important piece of owning a home, whether you currently own a home or whether you're buying a new home.
Yeah, great information. And while you say you don't need your real estate agent, let me just say,
I said you may not.
Okay, you may. And for us, the piece is that our clients become our clients for their lifetime. And so the thing that we do love to do is to help our clients get into the lifestyle of the city. Do you know how many people I call that call me and say, who do you use for your hairdresser? Who do
Absolutely.
you use for to get my muffler fixed? So we do continue that process with you even after you buy your house. I'm just saying. So how do you, Brenda, fit into that process?
Well, we, as I said earlier, are a disinterested third party. We basically do a lot of organizing, coordinating of the whole transaction. We deal with the insurance company. We make sure they get paid.
Yeah.
We deal with the real estate agent, make sure everybody's getting all of the information needed, the lenders, along with the title search. But there's a lot of coordination and organization that's required and involved on our end to work with all parties involved to make the transaction.
And I really don't think the public understands when you say all the pieces. You handle so many pieces.
There are a lot of pieces.
And you do it with such ease to make sure that in the end, the clients are happy. And we appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
So now
They have all the money.
Oh,
We have to be kind of.
They're in control.
That's
They
right.
hold it all right there. So what I want to find out from you guys is there a scenario that you've seen when people have gone through this process and they've not utilized your services, and what was the outcome for them in doing that? We don't like to have the bad news of it, but we want to protect and save others out there from experiencing maybe something someone else did so they can learn from that.
I have seen those.
Yeah.
But typically when I see it, it's when they didn't have a real estate professional on your side
Yeah.
involved in a transaction where somebody sold a house themselves.
Right.
And you go appraise the house, and you'll find two issues. One of them, there's living area is a big concern in the price of a house.
Right.
And tax records aren't always your best indicators.
Right.
So we'll find some discrepancy there, but a lot of times you just find it in value. I mean, I've walked out of appraising a piece of property and say, you know, I should look at Facebook every morning. I mean, you would see a house you can buy, turn around and call you to list it, you know, and make $30,000 in a month because you have an uninformed seller.
Yes.
And that's where I see it. As far as me actually involved, I don't see that many. I usually see it after the fact.
Right.
You know, the result of somebody that
Right.
did that.
And it's critical. I mean, one of the times that we were so thankful for you is we had a buyer who we knew that the square footage in the appraisal district was too high. We didn't know at what degree. And then, so that, of course, square footage impacts price, and a couple hundred square feet
That's right.
makes a huge difference. So not utilizing your services can damage one party or the other. So thanks. So April, what have you seen?
Well, I can tell you that we don't see a lot, with the exception of cash buyers, we don't see a lot of people who close without insurance,
Right.
but it does happen. I have people call me on a regular basis and say, I bought this investment property last week and I forgot to get my insurance. So
Yeah.
we do see that some, but where we see is people getting, I don't want to call it cheap insurance, bad insurance,
Right.
but they don't get the right insurance. They don't they don't spend the time like they do looking for the perfect home, looking for the perfect insurance. And I know I tell all of my new buyers, especially my first time home buyers I'm working with on their insurance, I will tell them, I know this is just one small piece of a huge puzzle that you're trying to put together, but this piece is important too.
Right.
So please take the time to invest into your insurance and educating yourself about what your options are, because you definitely don't want to get in that situation that we talked about earlier where you end up having the roof blow off your house and you find out that you had, you know, a $20,000 deductible, or as we've seen in years here, not much prior to now, we've had several floods. Do you have flood insurance?
Yeah.
Because not everybody, it's not something that comes standard on a homeowner's policy. So making sure you're asking the questions, or you're working with a professional like Dayna and her team who are asking those questions of you. Did you purchase flood insurance? And that is extremely important, because that's not going to be, we found way too many people after Harvey, we had it after Ike as well, but Harvey, that said, well, I thought I had flood insurance.
Yeah.
So I wasn't told that I didn't have flood insurance. So you just don't want surprises when it comes to insurance.
Right. Ask the right questions.
That's right.
Right. Okay, Brenda, what have you seen?
I've seen a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can always tell when somebody purchased something and didn't get title insurance, when there's going to be an issue. Liens not taken care of. Perhaps you thought you owned a property, or they owned the property and they didn't. There was an extra person that should have signed off on documents, so you have to go back and find that person.
Right.
As I said earlier, easements, access. There's so many. We could be here all day
I
talking
know.
about
You're
all
exactly
of those.
right.
But
Yeah.
you know, the proration of taxes, payoffs being released, or liens being released from the property properly. There's just a lot of different things that we do that people don't.
And they don't understand the
Understand.
importance. Yeah,
Correct.
absolutely. Well, we're going to come back in our final segment here in just a little bit. But let's see, what is our, so my notes tell me that we're moving into our last guest specific questions. So I thought we were moving to a home, but we're not. So here we go, Gordon. This one's for you. I should have read my notes before I started talking.
I thought I was through.
No such luck. So what are things that typically affect the appraisal value of a property, and what are some common ways to improve and increase the value of your home?
We touched on it a little
We
earlier,
did.
a while ago.
Yeah.
But just assuming the addition of gross living area is not feasible.
Right.
It's all in your house being of the same maintained state and
Yeah.
condition as the other homes in the market. And when people update, to be reasonable and consult somebody that,
Right.
that can help them,
Right.
and don't, just spend just a gross amount of
Yeah.
money, because it's not going to be a dollar for dollar return.
Right.
And you can address this much better than I can, but sometimes those updates sell the house faster.
Right.
And to some sellers, that's really not important, but to others, they've moved on and gone on, so they need that house, and days on the market's money.
Yeah.
And
So for us, that's why we give options. And if we go into a home that needs a lot of updating, they may be interested in our instant offer, which allows them to sell and not have to do any of that updating. But if they want the most value for their house, which is what we're directing here,
Right.
we have our listing agent and our stager. You're right, it's asking that professional, whether it is another real estate agent who's good at it or
Right.
our team. Either way, ask a professional who's in the market, who knows what's selling.
That's right.
Who can give that best advice. Yeah,
Right.
thank you for pointing people in my direction. So I didn't pay him to say that. I really didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, April. Living in our area, what insurance do you recommend home buyers get and why?
Great question. And then we've touched on it a little bit, but I can't stress enough. You want to have a homeowner's insurance policy that either includes windstorm coverage on that policy, which we do have multiple options, my agency, we shop multiple options for you. And some of those homeowners policies do have wind included on the policy. Some other companies are going to require you to have a separate windstorm insurance policy. So we can, again, talk about your options and which one might work best for you. But have homeowners insurance that includes wind, or a separate wind policy, but have windstorm insurance in Southeast Texas. I have people call my office and say, I'm looking to buy, we're moving here. Do I really need windstorm insurance? Yes, you do. Same question about flood. Flood insurance is the one that we get very regularly, which is, but I'm not in a flood zone. Right. That is a very common misconception. Every home in the United States is in a flood zone. It's a matter of if it's a low risk, moderate risk, or a high risk flood zone. So even if your home is not in a high risk flood zone, it most likely in Southeast Texas is still in a moderate risk. And you would qualify for preferred pricing for that policy to have flood insurance coverage, but it doesn't mean you don't need it.
Right.
So when I hear people, it breaks my heart whenever I hear people say, oh, but my lender told me I didn't need flood insurance. I would never tell anyone in Southeast Texas that they do not need flood insurance. Right. So homeowners, windstorm, and flood insurance, in my opinion, are all necessities when you live in Southeast Texas.
I agree, because you never know. Areas that we thought never would flood.
That's right.
Have flooded. So,
That's right.
And it's too inexpensive in relation to the cost if something were to happen. And that's what insurance is for. So, okay, lastly, we're going to move on to Brenda. Are there things you see where a seller or client doesn't follow through on their due diligence, and can you outline things they need to be aware of or look out for?
I think more on our end, we are, as I said, a third party that's trying to bring information together to satisfy everyone as far as the lenders, real estate agents, sellers, buyers. We need payoff information. Your team does a very good job because we get all of that up front. So it's not having to go back and forth. We often have times with sellers, or difficult times getting sellers to provide us with the proper information so that we can move on with the file. I mean, that would be the main thing with us is the information we're trying to gather. We need it in a timely manner.
Right, right.
So.
And when you send out that original letter, I know it's easy to skip through and not read all the details on the front of that letter.
Right.
I've been guilty. But you must read that and then get to you guys. Just like with the lender, you need to get the documents to you as soon as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes the whole process a lot quicker.
It does.
So we have a bit more information we're going to share in just a bit, but now we are actually going on to our third home, which is Jessica, and Jessica is going to show you 4, 6, 7 pine shadows in Pinewood.
Hey everyone, Jessica Wellborn here, buyer specialist, and I am at 467 Pine Shadow in the Pinewood neighborhood in Sour Lake. And this is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath house a 2-car garage, and almost an acre of land on a corner lot. Let's go in and see. This house has so many options. It's almost 2,700 square feet. And at $269,500, that makes it right around $100 a square foot, which is a really great price. So right off the entryway, first we have this formal living room or office, playroom, whatever works for your family and your people. It's got great tall ceilings, and it walks straight into another room, which could be a formal dining room or an office. It's got great crown molding and neutral colors. It's got all the gray tones that people like. And it walks straight into the kitchen, but it does have a doorway in case you wanted to close it off. And this kitchen is beautiful. It is white cabinetry. It's all bright and fresh and clean. It's got granite countertops that are really neutral and the subway tile backsplash. I love the gray grout because it doesn't stain like white grout does, and it's not quite as harsh as black grout with white subway tile. It just kind of blends in and makes for a great neutral background for all of your decorations. This kitchen has so many cabinets, including this pantry wall with pull-out shelves, the drawer shelves, which are great for canned goods and seeing all of the stuff in the back of the pantry. It also has all new appliances in this little hutch area where you can put your a coffee bar if you wanted to, or just decorate. And more options through here. This could be a great little eat-in kitchen area, or it could be a mudroom landing type area. This is a 2-car garage, so you would walk right in here from the garage, and you have a utility room and a half bath. So great landing spot when you're running out of the car from the grocery store, the kids getting home from school. Perfect little area off the garage. It also has a broom closet here and walks straight into the living area. This house has the luxury vinyl tile, the wood look that everyone likes, and it's the gray tones. Again, a super neutral palette just to move right into. The great big fireplace, the painted brick, and a really cool gray color. It's kind of a warm gray, which is awesome. And off of the living area, you walk into a sunroom. It would make a great game room. You can have a pool table or just sitting area, homework area. Lots of options here. And this wall of windows opens up to more of an exterior type sunroom where you could have patio furniture or an extra outdoor dining, and then even another covered area off of that. So great outside space too. So off this room is another option room. This room could be, again, an office or another sitting area, maybe a library. It does have a closet, and it opens into the hallway. But I want to keep us oriented into this house because with so many options, it kind of makes a circle. But I want you to know where we are in the house. So we're going to walk back to the front door. So back off of the entryway, we have a coat closet here, and then turn into the hallway to your left. And it opens right here on the right is that room we were just in, that flex room. And then the first of our bedrooms is here. All of the closets have the double doors, so they open really nicely to access everything. Great space, and this house has all new windows. So everything is very fresh and updated, ready to move into. Okay, and down the hall, we have the second bedroom, which is a little bigger, but it also has the double door closet with plenty of space. And then down the hall, we have another storage closet. Great space. Every turn you have another closet. Storage is great. And onto the hall bath. In this bathroom, there's a stand-up shower. And it's great to have the 2 rooms again, so multiple people can use the bathroom at the same time in the mornings, getting ready and everything. So you have extra storage in this room and extra storage in this room. So So great cabinetry. Granite countertops in this bathroom too. It's just all very bright and open. And then on to the master bedroom. And it is very expansive. Plenty of space for a king size bed, big furniture, and there's his and her closets. This one is really good size. You can add extra bars too if you needed more hanging space, or even maybe put in a small dresser in the bedroom, which is always convenient in the closet, I think. All right, back here in the master bathroom, we have another walk-in shower with a really beautiful glass door and open with the river rock, neutral countertops, and all of granite. All the countertops throughout are stone. It's just wide open with lots of storage and great space to move around in. All right, guys, this is 467 Pine Shadows again. I hope you've enjoyed walking through. Let us know if you want more information on it.
Thank you, Jessica. Okay, guys, we have gotten so many nuggets here from these incredible people who are at the top of their field. So if you want more information, what we've done is we created a link in our post with each of their bios. So you have additional questions because we've covered a lot, but maybe there's something that we didn't cover for you and you want to ask them a question. Go to that link in our bio and you can connect with each of them. We have so enjoyed having each of you. Thank you so much for taking your time. I know it's valuable. You have been a huge asset to us today. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us and being a part of this. We have so enjoyed live open houses. This is our 5th, and next week is our final of the entire summer. So I hope you'll join us next week for some surprises. We talked about not liking them, but I think you'll like this one. So watch for clues and tips and join us next Friday at noon as well.